Hello, this is Telmere and welcome to another repair video. In this video, we are looking at a E15 Gen 2 that I have worked before on this channel. Now the issue before was that there was a MOSFET that had burned through really badly, and I basically just replaced that MOSFET. It was on the QB6. I think I may have also replaced QB5 as well, but nevertheless, it's not working properly anymore. Let's take a look and let me show you what it's doing. Now, in a similar sense, I'm just going to unplug the battery just in case, because I want this to show the initial oddity that it's doing. Maybe I just make sure it's fully drained. Battery plugged in, and 20 volts. You're going to see the light has flashed. It's on right now, and then it goes off. And it's not pulling any amperage whatsoever. Well, actually it is. It's pulling about 50 milliamps. I know it says 100 milliamps there, but that's not true. That is definitely not true. So something else is happening on here, and I really don't know what's going on. I have a vague idea of what might be happening, but I'm not 100% sure. Now, I think with this particular one, I think I may have only replaced the one MOSFET, but not the other. So it's possible the other MOSFET was on its way out as well. So let's just take a look under the thermal camera and just see. It's right here is where those MOSFETs are. I don't see anything. There's nothing warm here. All you're seeing is the shininess of the copper and the silveriness of the metal all over the place. I do not see any indicators of why. I gotta get this board out and take a look. If there was gonna be a heat spot, it'd be right here. That's where those two MOSFETs are. And I'm not seeing any. So I wonder where that 100 milliamps is being pulled to. Let's get that board out. Okay, so this is the spot where those two MOSFETs are. As far as I can recall, I replaced this one, but I didn't replace this one. As far as I know, it all looks fine. I am wondering about this chip right here. I think that's the processor that's used for power management. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that is the chip. I do have another one as far as I can recall that I can use. I don't see anything else that is of concern. So let's take a look in deeper. I don't really know what I'm looking at. It looks normal. Can't define it as anything else but normal. I'll put it into continuity mode, but I'm not really caring about that. If I do hear a beep, though, it'll be concerning because it'll indicate that there's something wrong with the MOSFET itself. So if I'm over here, I should hear a beep. I'm just on the HDMI port. So all these pins here, up here, around pin 1, these are all on the same plane. And these 4 pins over here are all on the same plane. I believe this is the drain. So if I'm over on this side, getting 0L, getting on this side, 0L. Okay, that's the same thing as normal. If I recall correctly, I'm supposed to measure this side here with this side. Not getting a darn thing. How about over here? So I was getting this also before with my other, on the other board. I think I originally got 7K on these. And I'm not getting anything at all on them now. Even in circuit, I was getting something. I'm pretty sure I was getting something. For voltages, I am getting some voltage out of this one. This little guy, I'm not getting any. Oh no, I am. It's the same voltage too, about 0.5 volts. I'm not sure what to do here. I do have one that I can test out of circuit from another laptop. Okay, let's see what this little guy says. I get it. So this right here is the drain, and if you go from here to here, and then you check the other ones, it opens up the gate. So that's why it started working. It's just kind of cool that I just managed that without fully understanding. I'm out of ideas. What I do know is, at least in diode mode, this does show up as 0.5 volts, if I have this set correctly. What I could do is I could plug it in and just get a measure of voltage off of those. I'm just plugging in my amp reader. I want to be able to detect the fact that it is getting some voltage. It's showing at about 72, 75, 77. milliamps, which isn't a whole lot. There is a heat spot that's showing though. It's the really shiny chip that's really giving off some heat. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. I believe it's this chip right here is not acting right. So I wonder if I could just replace that chip and it'd be done. Now, can I see what that chip is named? What is it? There is some writing on it. There we go. TPS 65994AD. I've got another E14 Gen 2 that I can use for parts instead of an E15. They are basically the same board. It's just just designed slightly different, but it's basically the same board. I could also try doing a reflow of those other two chips, but clearly, I mean, that chip is getting a fair bit of heat. Okay, I found myself another board that has the correct chip. And something I discovered about this chip is a little interesting. It's that the chip, the first number on it, you can't really see it, and it took a lot of effort to even try to see it. Nevertheless, it wasn't, the first number wasn't the same, but the second number in the bunch was the same. And I say that's noteworthy just because all the labels around it are the same. It does say HEA. It says 158 on the right side. It says UB7 on the left. Is there a indicator? I think it's top right corner. Like, it's going to be hard to figure out where. Is there a? I think it's top right corner is the pin 1 mark. Okay, it's liquid. I wonder if we're going to have to reball this chip. I think I have to. Ooh, fancy. Look at that. I didn't chip it already, did I? Is that a chip? These chips are so chippable. I think I might have broken it already. Just from that really quick drop. Might be okay. I got a chip holder. I'm going to use that. So I got a little tiny piece of wick. I'm going to put a smallest drop I can possibly do of flux on here. I got to turn the temperature down. It's a pretty small chip. I'm going to put it down to about 380. The wires for here in comparison to the chip itself, maybe I shouldn't have even bothered trying to reball it. I've turned down my soldering iron down to 420, 410, 410. Let's see if this works. That's not working out the best. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try putting some leaded solder on this first and just see if maybe that'll be easier to clean off. I've got the majority of it off, but there's just some that just is holding on for dear life. Alright, we got that pretty darn clean. I'm going to put a little dab of flux on here and just spread that around. And the reason why I'm doing this is in order to make it easier for the balls, solder balls I'm going to be putting on here to stick to the chip so they're not going to go flying all over the place. I've been told that this, what I'm about to do, is incredibly difficult. I'm both looking forward to this and not at exactly the same time. I think these might be 0.3. Is that ball size good enough? Let's try it. I've got a few in here. I just want to see whether or not these are big enough. Yeah, actually, I think this is the exact size that I need. I can now understand exactly why they talk about saving the game, as you might put it, for these little guys. Because they do kind of want to stick into the place where they belong, but at the same time, they don't. They want to stick in that little place there, but they also want to stick in with their friends. Weird things happen, like the smaller things get. It is insane how things act. I think next time I'm straight up just going to try not reballing this, because this is such a pain in the neck. No. No. There we are. You see what I'm talking about when I'm getting worried about this. They can just domino. Okay, time to say replace. Got this 380. I'm going to turn the air speed down super low. I got it at like 35%. 380. Oh gosh. Nope. Is that even too much? This one here was jiggling around. Okay, let's try that again. With an even lower airspeed. And I'm going to turn up the temperature. Put it up to 410. There we go. Good. I think that has saved my place for now. So a nice little trick I should mention to you guys if you're working on this. You can dip your tweezers in a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, and then you just wipe off the excess, and it makes the balls not stick nearly as much to your tweezers. Not so great when you're looking to get some more, but excellent if you're pushing balls into place. Okay, this is the board where we're taking the chip off from. I'm going to put a dot on this board so that I can recall what board's what. You guys don't see that, but I sure see that. Turn the temperature up. Not the temperature, airspeed. Okay, I'm immediately going and get myself a little bit of wick. Come on, where are you? Where did I put you? There you are. And let's clean this up. Gotta be very careful. I'm trying hard not to scrub these pins. These are pretty, not pins, these pads. They're pretty tiny. But I also want to make sure that I'm not missing any spots. Oh no. Am I wiping off? Darn. See, that's the problem with like what I was doing there. I'm not sure if I was scrubbing or not. The bottom looks fine. Let's just put this on quite the angle so I don't have any glare. The bottom's fine. It's just up here. Right here, that needs it, and over here needs it. This one right here. So let's break out the mask. And I also need my ultraviolet light. I gotta be really careful with this stuff. Like, I need almost nothing. And if I put it on too thick, it'll cause quite a lot of problems. I'm gonna see if I can get even closer, can I? Yeah, I can, but just barely. My other problem is I'm not sure if this is clean enough. That looks better. Actually, in this top left, it's not as bad as the one over in the top right. It is incredible how tiny this is. It is really hard to explain just how small this is. Here's a good way to explain it. This is the tip of a pen. Here's the tip of a pen, the ball of a pen. And that's how much smaller those pins are. I think that's a pretty good definition of just how tiny this chip is. Gonna be using I think it's a 10 watt ultraviolet light. Stays on for about 15 seconds or so. Okay, that should be done. Now it's just a matter of getting this chip on there. I sure hope this chip is still live, it's still functional, because I'm really concerned about that. A little bit of damage along the one side there. Here we go. There's the chip. I've got a little bit of alcohol in it because it was sticking rather badly to the board, or to my little chip holder. I gotta figure out what corner it is. We can do it this way. So you see these two pins right here, not pins, those pads. On the chip you got some coinciding pads there as well. So if I just flip the chip over, because I can't recall, I can't see it, is the more of the real problem. So there they are, 1, 2. Oh, that's got a lot of fluff. Where did that come from? So this is the direction it's supposed to be. So hopefully I can just flip this chip over and we'll keep its orientation. Tiniest amount of flux will be going on here. If I put too much, I'm going to have to dab some away. Yeah, I think I'm going to dab some away. This very fancy fabric that I'm using to go and wick up the extra is a piece of paper towel. It's amazing what it looks like underneath the microscope. It is pretty crazy. I think it's right about there. Okay, at this point, all I can do is just give it a go. I'm going to tap on the top very carefully. Let's get some heat on this. Okay, making sure I'm at about 50% airspeed, 410 degrees Celsius, and I'm just looking for this to move into place. Right there, it did it. A little bit longer, and that's it. That's done and dusted. Let's give it a little bit of a clean. Okay, let's see whether or not it's actually pulling something other than, like, I think what I'm looking for is 276 milliamps. That's a bit high. Yeah, the CPU was getting warm, which might be encouraging to see. I saw 700 milliamps. All right, let's plug this battery in and see what happens. Well, that's different. Light staying on. Oh, there we go. Now it's at 800. Oh, fans up. Oh, I just remembered something. Of course it wouldn't be doing anything. It doesn't have any RAM in it right now. Let's see if this acts different now. It's reading at 2.6 amps. See how those lights flash on? Oh my gosh! I think I've done it. So this particular laptop had 2 faults. I'm going to put this laptop back together now. Wow, is this ever encouraging. And that is another computer repaired and saved from the garbage heap. So, that's all there is to this video, guys. If you liked the video, please do leave a like. And if you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe. We'll see you guys all in another video. Bye.